How would you like a leadership and a management tool that you could use every single day in your office that you will absolutely love, and so will the people that you lead and manage? Well, in this next segment, I'm going to share it with you. So here's the setup. Over the last almost 5 decades, I have built 10 successful practices. I have hired and developed over 70 plus associates, and I've hired and developed dozens and dozens of CAs and admin support people. And that's in Sound Chiropractic Centers, the New Patient Academy, also in 5-star management. So I believe that you, as a manager and a leader, collect tools as you go forward. If you're going to get better at the job, you're probably pretty smart to read some great management books. And my philosophy is to try to pull one tool out of each management book that I've read. Now, in this next segment, I'm going to tell you my favorite tool that I picked up in a simple book that would be easy for you to use. And I'll do that in the very next segment. So years and years ago, in fact, decades ago, a book called The 1 Minute Manager came out. And it was written in allegory form. There was the 1 minute manager, and then there was the young manager, and then their interaction. And the 1 minute manager explained to the young manager that there were 3 tools that he used: 1 minute goals, 1 minute praisings, and 1 minute reprimands. The 1 minute goal is easy to understand. This is what the job looks like performed correctly. 1 minute praisings, I'm going to talk about that in a second. 1 minute reprimands, when somebody has an ethical lapse, you need to approach that and you need to handle that. But my favorite tool is what I call a 1 minute praising. Now, write this down. Catching somebody in the act of doing exactly what you ask them to do. Now, here's a way that I would use this. If I'm working on a particular procedure with a chiropractor, like a script, or at a front desk, somebody handling a patient, and then I pass by them doing exactly what I ask them to, I've got a couple different choices. If it's not appropriate at that moment to stop and recognize them, I can remember that and come back and do a 1 minute praising. Now, sometimes we get so internally motivated that we don't think that anybody needs to motivate us or to tell us we're doing good work. That may be your nature, but if we're working with people in a team, it's absolutely imperative that you recognize and reward good work with a compliment. Now, in a 1 minute praising, I'm going to say, hey, I saw the way that you handled Suzanne. You did such a beautiful job. Thank you so much. I heard you use the script that we've been working on. You know how that makes me feel? It makes me feel absolutely great. It says that the training that we're doing, you take seriously. And how does your job get better as you use those tools? And so they get a chance to tell me a little bit about that. So I recognize people doing the things that I ask them to do. Now, I can use that every single day. You can do that with patients. You can do that with your associate doctors. You can do that with your support team. And if a CA is listening to this video as well, you can also do that with the doctor. Doctor, thank you so much for getting your chart notes done. And recognize the doctor. You can do a 1 minute praisings. Now, I love that book, The 1 Minute Manager. Anybody who comes to work for me at 5-Star Management or New Patient Academy or back in the day when I owned Sound Chiropractic Centers would read that book and write a 1-page book report. And then that book report would be shared with me and the rest of the team in an office meeting. Well, haven't you already heard a bunch of those book reports? Yeah, but that's not the point. The point is that I want everybody in the office to understand how we use the 1 minute system. So, best tool I've ever learned came from a book about 115 pages. Simple allegory story, large type, could read it in a couple hours. And it's to recognize people doing great work in your office. If you do, you'll get more great work. And life will become easier. This is Dr. Noel Lloyd for 5 Star Management. I know this stuff works. Why don't you try it?